Tina with me, and I met her at a church. We talked about holistic dentistry. And first of all, I'm going to talk about the testimony of bone cavitations, because it's a hidden infection that not even dentists, we don't look for it. We never were taught, they never taught us about that. So you have a history of cancer, and you are a cancer thriver,
Yes.
right? You're completely healed. And
Yes.
one of the things that I actually learned from you is that you have a biochemist. Tell me more about the biochemist and what she does.
I was recommended to also use a biochemist as I was going through my chemo treatments. So I had 2 doctors, my oncologist, gynecologist, as well as a biochemist, because I felt that it was necessary for my body to be nurtured and cared for while I was going through chemo. And I wanted to have somebody else, third party, looking at it so that I could stay healthy going through my chemo.
So she takes blood tests, and what does she do?
So my she would she took a panel of blood and would then have it come through, and we would have telecommunications and talk about what she's seeing in the terrain of my body. It wasn't meant to diagnose anything. It was meant to see how my body's reacted to chemo, how my body was actually found an infection. That she said, yeah, you have some kind of a low-grade infection that's been here for decades that could have contributed to the cancer.
Wow. Okay, so, and we know that the immune system, if there's an infection, it's already triggered, and it's like, okay.
High inflammatory markers.
So the thing is that you just came for a holistic consultation.
Yes.
And one of the things, you had several symptoms that I'll read later, but today is the testimony of the bone cavitations. We found a hidden infection, and you never had pain.
No, never had any pain.
Never.
That was the last thing I would even think of, that I had any infection, first of all, and then second of all, anything in my mouth, because it didn't have that kind of an infection feel in my mouth at all.
In the jawbone.
Yeah.
We cleared it, however holistic we do with ozone and stuff like that. How do you feel after the bone cavitations were removed?
It felt like there was a release, that my body started to just unwind and just come into a peaceful place that I had known it wasn't. And my jaw then started to relax, my mouth, my face, the tension in my sides. I was constantly clenching, constantly tight. Everything was very irritable from about here down, and then down my neck, especially my right side. And that was slowly going away as after the surgery of the bone cavitation, cleaning all that infection out, I could feel my body just relaxing and opening up.
And I remember, because I was like, oh, those are TMJ symptoms. But I spoke to, we do a lot of things behind the scenes, and I spoke to somebody like, she's got TMJ symptoms and bone cavitations. He said, take the bone cavitations first, and then we'll see. So that went better.
Yes.
But then I remember you said, oh, I have an appointment with my biochemist to draw blood 2 days later. I'm like, maybe you should wait a bit longer. No, you just went for it?
Yes.
And what did the lab test show?
And the lab test did show, and I will have another test with her again coming up soon. But it did show the infection has gone down.
And then you said all the things went to green.
Yeah.
I remember you saying something like that.
My blood numbers were now normalizing. It had been roughly 7 months after my last chemo. And so by that space of last chemo, plus having the cavitations done and cleaned out, my body now, blood was getting cleaned out. There was no inflammation markers anymore that were high. My body was just relaxing, and it was becoming more aligned. And then so after that, I had another blood draw, which was about 4 months after that, and everything had continued to keep getting healed.
And you told me like, oh, you don't need this medication anymore or these supplements anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that was, I think you drew the blood 2 days after the cleaning. That's how the body heals on itself. So thank you so much. I just wanted to let you know, let people know that there's something called bone cavitations, and they don't hurt. There's no toothache, there's nothing. Thank you, Tina.
Yes.